$736. That's the average new car payment in 2025. Just let that number settle in for a moment because honestly, at least 100 of those dollars are pure, unadulterated fluff that has absolutely nothing to do with the actual metal, the rubber, or even those pesky chip shortages we've been all hearing about. But here's the ugly truth. The tricks dealers play are actually more profitable today than they were back when our parents were haggling for a deal in the 90s. Why? It's not just about a few bad apples. It's because the entire franchise model, the very backbone of car sales, it's like a casino game where the rules are strictly written to make sure the house always wins. So stay with me. By the end of this, you'll not only know the deep-seated structural loopholes that let dealers keep winning, but also the fresh court ruling that just slammed the brakes on federal reform, and most importantly, the 3 smart moves you can make right now to keep your next car payment from ballooning faster than a viral TikTok trend. Most buyers, bless their optimistic hearts, they still walk into a car lot thinking the law has their back. And why wouldn't they? The Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, did drop the shiny new CARS rule in late 2023. It was supposed to be a game changer, promising crystal clear window stickers, banning those infuriating hidden junk fees, and laying out finance terms right up front. Consumer groups were practically cheering, projecting savings on a whopping $3.4 billion a year for all of us. It sounds great, doesn't it? But then came the plot twist, and it was a doozy. In January 2025, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit completely nuked that rule. Their reasoning? They said the FTC cut procedural corners. It's like a referee nullifying a championship-winning touchdown because they discovered after the fact that they had forgotten to tie their own shoes properly before the game started. The courts ruled that the FTC didn't follow its own rulebook, creating their rule, even though the FTC argued the industry had plenty of warning. The National Automobile Dealers Association, NADA, the NADA, and the Texas Automobile Dealers Association, TADA, spearheaded this legal challenge, arguing the rule would add massive amounts of time, complexity, paperwork, and cost to the car buying experience. So what's the translation for you and me? The very same deceptive practices the government vowed to kill are still perfectly legal in almost every state. It's a huge win for the dealers. Feeling that knot in your stomach? That, my friend, is the business model working exactly as designed, proving that a simple clerical error can completely derail massive consumer protections, even when everyone agrees there's a problem. Okay, let's talk about the numbers. Think of a car dealership like a movie theater. On a typical $35,000 compact car, the front-end gross, the markup on the car averages a modest $900. The theater doesn't make much on the ticket, right? The real money, the golden goose, is made at the concession stand. In the dealership world, this is the finance and insurance, or F&I department. This is where they sell you the popcorn and candy at a massive markup, pushing their profit far beyond the car's selling price. Now, let's break down some of their favorite concessions. One, we have extended warranties. These often come with markups that can hit 60% or more. Many are overpriced, overlap with the factory warranty you already have, and have a claims process so complicated that getting a payout is a headache. Next, we have gap policies, which are guaranteed asset protection. This might cost the dealer a mere $250, but they'll happily sell it to you for about $995. It's a product that can be useful, but the profit margin is astronomical, and they'll often push it even when your down payment is so large you don't even need it. Third on my list is the nitrogen tire fills. You'll see these priced at $199 a set. The actual cost to the dealer for what is essentially fancy air? Maybe $12. It's a classic example of a low-value add-on with a massive markup. The next one is document fees. The document fees magically appeared at $699, and these charges for paperwork are often pure profit with little to no cap in many states, though some, like California, regulate them much more strictly. Add those line items up, and suddenly the average deal isn't just about the car. It spits out an additional $1,800 in pure accessory profit. That's double the money the dealership made on the metal itself. When the movie theater makes twice as much on popcorn as it does on tickets, guess what they're going to push on you the second you walk through the door? Now, let's peel back another layer and look at the structural issues that allow this system to thrive. It's not just individual sales tactics. It's baked into the industry itself. Now, loophole number 1, franchise protection laws. Imagine if your state had a law saying McDonald's corporate isn't allowed to open its own restaurant. They must sell their burgers through independent franchise owners. That's how car sales work. These laws force Ford and Toyota to sell through dealerships, who can then turn around and decide to charge you an extra for the bag, the napkins, and the ketchup. No matter how much a car maker might want to offer a transparent Tesla-style one-price experience, these state laws, they empower the local dealers to pack your payments with a lot of fluff. Loophole number 2, enforcement bingo. With the FTC's big rule tossed out, we're left with a fractured system. It's like having a different speed limit on every single block in a city, just like Toronto, but with only one traffic cop on duty the whole town. The chance of getting a ticket, it's a risk worth taking. A dealership in Arizona just paid out a $200,000 settlement for hidden fees, but that covered $1,200 transactions. That's a mere $160 penalty per offense. When the profit per scam is over $1,000, that's not a deterrent. It's just the cost of doing business. Loophole number 3, contract overload. Federal law only requires disclosure of the total price and the interest rate. It doesn't demand a line-by-line breakdown of every add-on. So dealers will often hand you a contract that's like a restaurant bill, where all your drinks, appetizers, and desserts are lumped into one line item called extras. After hours of negotiating, you're tired, your coffee is cold, and you just want to go home. You sign the dense, multi-page document without realizing you just paid $50 for a glass of water. So you might be wondering, why don't the honest dealers just undercut the bad ones? Why not win on transparency? It's a good question, but it's like asking one restaurant. The system actually punishes them. Let's talk about something called a finance reserve. It's basically a secret commission. It works like this. The bank tells the dealer they will approve you for a loan of 4% interest. This is the buy rate. But the dealer tells you the best rate they will sell it to you is for about 6%. When you sign, the dealer pockets a piece of that extra 2% as a thank you gift from the lender for bringing them a more profitable deal. Now, imagine you're an honest dealer who refuses to mark up the interest rate. Your competitor across the street, however, bumps every customer's rate by 2 points and packs in a warranty. Guess whose deals the banks are going to approve faster with fewer questions? The one making the bank more money. And it's obvious. Lenders quietly reward the dealers who charge the most fees, creating a race to the top of the fee mountain. It's a system where being transparent can put you at a disadvantage. Sprinkling a healthy dose of human optimism bias, we all focus on that manageable monthly payment, not the terrifying grand total, and you've got a system that practically runs on autopilot. The old tricks are still around, but dealers are always innovating. Here are some of the newer, more insidious scams you might encounter on lots right now. One is e-contract speed traps. In today's digital age, you're often signing on a tablet. It's like a magician's sleight of hand. They have you focused on the big, flashy monthly payment number, while their other hand is quickly sliding in a hidden $1,200 vintage charge into a paragraph you'll never read. You won't notice it until you're home, and by then, it's too late. Then we have trading over allowance. This is a classic shell game. They make you feel like a genius by offering you $18,000 for your old SUV, way more than it's worth, but then they secretly raise the price of the new car by the same amount. You haven't saved a dime. The money was just moved from one shell to another. The really painful part? In most states, you pay sales tax on the inflated new car price, meaning you just paid the government tax on money you never actually got. And next one is the phantom rate drops. You're in the finance office and then the manager tells you they really fought for you and got the lender to buy the rate down to about 5.9%. But the real rate the bank offered was about 3.5%. That extra spread is that secret commission again, the dealer's reserve. It's pocketed by the dealership. With the CARS rule on ice, you'll never see this hidden profit disclosed. You leave thinking you got a great deal, but you just paid a hidden fee on the loan itself. But enough with the doom and gloom, let's flip the board. You do have power, and there are concrete steps you can take to protect yourself. First, and this is very crucial, secure outside financing before you even breathe dealership air. This is like bringing your own popcorn and soda to the movie theater. It immediately takes their most profitable item off the table. Walk in with a pre-approval from your bank or credit union. This locks in your interest rate and forces them to negotiate on the one thing left, the price of the car. Second, demand the itemized cash price sheet. This is like asking for an itemized receipt at a fancy restaurant instead of just total on a napkin. It forces them to list every single charge, every single add-on, and every fee. If they refuse, stand up and walk away. Seriously. The sight of a confident customer walking out is far more terrifying than tossing out a $599 paint protection spiff. It shows that you actually know the game. Third, we have line item veto. Once you have that itemized sheet or the final contract, take out a pen like you're a teacher grading a paper. Meticulously go through it. Circle every fee you didn't typically explicitly request. Draw a single clear X through it, initial right beside your change, and then hand them back the pen. They bank on you being too tired or too intimidated to mark up their official contract. Do it anyway. 9 times out of 10, these phantom charges will vanish faster than free donuts in the coffee break room. So, is a direct-to-consumer sales model like Tesla's the white knight we've been waiting for? Maybe. Tesla, Rivian, and Carvana only account for about 8% of the new car sales right now, but their growth is forcing legacy brands to adopt. Ford's Model E program is letting some stores go full no haggle. Hyundai is piloting transparent pricing in California. These are small steps, but they're steps in the right direction. However, don't hold your breath for a quick revolution. Dealer lobby groups are incredibly powerful. They spent a staggering $3.8 million in Florida alone last year to keep those protective franchise laws intact. The National Automobile Dealers Association spends millions annually to make sure this system stays. Real widespread reform will likely require one of two things. Either a landmark Supreme Court ruling that breaks down state franchise walls, or a massive wave of consumer demand that finally becomes louder than the lobbyist money. Until then, expect to see more creative fields with friendly names. You can't fix an entire industry overnight, that's for sure. But what you absolutely can do is refuse to fund the nonsense. If this episode saves you one junk fee, it helps you avoid just one overpriced add-on. Then please share it with a friend, family member, or someone shopping for a car this weekend. Drop your own dealership horror stories, or even better, a victory in the comments. I promise to read every single one. Hit subscribe for more no-fluff buying car intel, and always remember, the best way to stop a rigged system is to walk in knowing exactly where the strings are attached. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one.